Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom TV. Hey, brother, let's get real about something most guys never truly grasp: the hidden psychological triggers that shape a woman's attraction. You've seen it before: a confident, self-assured woman who seems completely in control. Yet she's drawn to certain men like a moth to a flame. Why? It's not just about looks, money, or charm. Attraction runs deeper, rooted in the subconscious patterns that drive her emotions and decisions. Some men spark intense attraction without even trying, while others, despite their best efforts, get ignored, friend-zoned, or treated like an afterthought. The difference lies in understanding these 10 key psychological triggers that tap into what makes her tick. Once you see them for what they are, you'll stop guessing what works and start seeing results. You'll know why some guys are naturally pursued while others chase in vain. More importantly, you'll learn how to shift the dynamic so she's the one drawn to you. Let's dive in and uncover the truth about female attraction. First, let's talk about emotional contrast, the roller coaster effect that keeps her hooked. Women are drawn to men who create a dynamic emotional experience, not just stability. Think about it: a relationship that's too predictable, where you're always available, always agreeing, always responding instantly, can feel comforting, but it's rarely exciting. Stability alone doesn't spark passion. Women crave variety, the highs and lows that make them feel alive. This is why breakups sometimes lead to passionate reunions, or why some women struggle to leave relationships that seem unhealthy. It's not always about the persona, it's about the emotional intensity tied to them. A man who's too predictable, always emotionally accessible, risks becoming background noise. The solution isn't to be manipulative or toxic, but to understand the power of emotional contrast. Imagine you're playful one moment, teasing her with a smirk, then pulling back slightly the next, letting her feel the space of your absence. That contrast between connection and distance creates an intoxicating cycle that keeps her engaged. For example, if she misbehaves or takes you for granted, don't react with desperation or arguments. Instead, pull back subtly, let her feel the difference when your attention isn't guaranteed. This isn't about playing games, it's about showing you value yourself enough to set boundaries. A man who can balance warmth with independence, who isn't afraid to challenge her or create moments of tension, becomes someone she can't stop thinking about. Emotional contrast keeps her invested because it mirrors the unpredictability of life itself. She's not just comfortable with you, she's captivated. The second trigger is mystery, the allure of the unknown. Women are instinctively drawn to men who are hard to read, who leave just enough unsaid to spark curiosity. When a man is too transparent, spilling every thought, plan, or feeling right away, he leaves nothing for her to uncover. The excitement fades, and what once felt intriguing becomes ordinary. Many guys make this mistake, thinking constant openness will make her feel secure. They respond to every text instantly, explain themselves at every turn, and lay all their cards on the table. But here's the truth: a woman doesn't want to know everything about you from the start. She wants to discover you layer by layer, to feel like she's peeling back the mystery of who you are. A man who maintains an air of intrigue doesn't overshare. He doesn't feel the need to explain every action or emotion. He surprises her with unexpected depth, a thoughtful comment, a sudden shift in perspective that makes her pause and wonder. His presence isn't always guaranteed, which makes her value it more when she has it. For example, instead of texting back immediately every time, let her wait occasionally. Don't ghost her, just show her your time is valuable. When you share something personal, do it deliberately, revealing just enough to keep her curious. This creates a dynamic where she's chasing the next piece of the puzzle, invested in uncovering who you are. Mystery isn't about being distant, it's about being selective with what you reveal and when. A man who masters this becomes a lingering thought in her mind, someone she can't fully grasp but can't stop wanting to understand. The third trigger is emotional independence, the ability to walk away. Women are drawn to men who know their worth and aren't afraid to step away from situations that don't serve them. This reflects confidence, self-respect, and a sense of value that doesn't rely on her approval. Too many men fall into the trap of fearing loss. They tolerate disrespect, overlook broken promises, or excuse poor behavior, hoping patience will win her over. But this only diminishes their value in her eyes. Women, consciously or not, test boundaries to gauge a man's self-respect. If he stays in a situation that undermines his dignity, he fails that test, and her attraction fades. The solution is simple, but requires strength. Always be willing to walk away. Set clear standards and hold to them, no matter how much you want her. If she flakes on commitments or treats you like an option, don't argue or pledge distance yourself. This isn't about punishment. It's about showing you value yourself too much to chase someone who doesn't reciprocate. When a woman sees you're not afraid to lose her, her perception shifts. Scarcity creates value. A man who's emotionally independent, who doesn't cling to her approval, becomes more desirable, not less. Ironically, when she realizes you can walk away, she's more likely to chase you. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about living with self-respect. That kind of strength is magnetic, making you a man she respects and wants to keep close. Fourth, women chase men who challenge them. Attraction isn't built on comfort alone, it thrives on emotional and intellectual stimulation. A man who's too agreeable, too eager to please, or too easy to win over might seem like a safe bet, but he rarely sparks passion. Women want to feel they've earned a man's respect and attention, that it's not handed to them unconditionally. When a man is overly accommodating, gagrins with everything, avoiding debates, or hesitating to challenge her opinion, she risks becoming forgettable. She might like him, but she won't crave him. To keep her invested, challenge her in a way that excites, not frustrates. Hold your own in conversations, disagree when you see things differently, and introduce playful competition through teasing or witty banter. For example, if she makes a bold statement, don't just nod, push back lightly with a smile. You sure about that? This keeps the interaction dynamic, making her work for your approval. More importantly, have high standards. Not every woman can walk into your life effortlessly. When she feels she has to meet your expectations, she values your attention more. This isn't about being combative, it's about showing you're a man with conviction. Someone who respects himself enough to expect respect in return. When she senses she's earned your affection, her emotional investment deepens, and she's drawn to you in a way that comfort alone can't achieve. The fifth trigger is emotional presence, the ability to be fully in the moment with her. Women are drawn to men who make them feel seen, heard, and understood, not through grand gestures, but through quiet attention. Too many guys are distracted, half listening while checking their phones or planning their next move. But a man whose percentile locks eyes, listens intently, and responds thoughtfully creates a connection that feels rare. It's not about saying the perfect thing, it's about showing up fully in the moment. When you notice the subtle shift in her tone or the flicker of emotion in her eyes, and you acknowledge it, you're speaking to her soul. For example, if she's sharing a story, don't just note, ask a question that shows you're listening. Like, what made you feel that way? If she's upset, don't rush to fix it, just sit with her. Let her feel your presence. This kind of attention makes her feel valued in a way that words alone can't. It's the difference between a guy who's there to impress and a man who's there to connect. Emotional presence is a skill, one you build by slowing down, observing, and letting go of the need to perform. When she feels you're truly with her, she'll carry that moment with her, replaying it when you're not around. Sixth, women are attracted to men with purpose. A man who's driven by something bigger than himself, whether it's a career, a passion, or a personal mission, has an undeniable pull. Purpose gives you direction, confidence, and a sense of identity that doesn't rely on her validation. It's not about being rich or successful. It's about being committed to something that matters to you. A woman can sense when a man is living for something beyond the relationship, and it makes her respect him more. She's not the center of his world, she's a part of it, and that distinction is powerful. Contrast this with the guy who makes the relationship his entire focus. He rearranges his life to please her, drops his goals to spend more time with her, and loses sight of his own path. That kind of dependence kills attraction. A woman wants to be with a man who's going somewhere, who has a fire in him that she can't extinguish. She wants to be inspired by his drive, to feel like she's joining a journey, not defining it. So, cultivate your purpose, whether it's building a business, mastering a craft, or making a difference. Let her see you're a man with a mission, and she'll be drawn to the energy you bring to everything, including her. The seventh trigger is confidence, but not the loud, performative kind. True confidence is quiet, rooted in self-assurance rather than arrogance. It's the belief that you're enough, regardless of her response. Women are drawn to men who carry themselves with ease, who don't need to prove their worth because they already know it. This shows up in small ways: the way you hold eye contact without flinching, the calm tone in your voice, the way you stand your ground without being defensive. A confident man doesn't seek her approval, he offers his presence, and she can choose to meet him there. Many guys mistake confidence for bravado, thinking they need to dominate conversations or show off to impress. But that's insecurity in disguise. True confidence is subtle. It's saying what you mean without over-explaining, walking away from disrespect without a second thought, and being comfortable in your own skin. When a woman senses this, she feels safe and intrigued. She knows you're not swayed by her tests or the opinions of others. That kind of strength makes her want to be closer, because it's rare in a world full of people-pleasing. Eighth, women are drawn to men who create emotional safety. This doesn't mean being soft or overly gentle, it means being a man she can trust to handle her emotions without judgment. When a woman opens up, whether about her fears, dreams, or insecurity issues, taking a risk, a man who listens without trying to fix her, who validates her feelings without dismissing them, creates a space where she feels safe to be herself. This is especially powerful when she's vulnerable. If she shares something raw, don't rush to solve it, just acknowledge it. Say, "I hear you," or "that sounds tough." That simple act of presence makes her feel understood. Emotional safety also means consistency. If you're warm one day and cold the next, she'll guard herself. But if you're steady, showing up with the same calm strength whether she's happy or upset, she'll trust you with her heart. This doesn't mean you never challenge her. It means your challenges come from a place of respect, not volatility. A man who can hold space for her emotions, who doesn't flinch when things get heavy, becomes someone she relies on, someone she can't imagine being without. The ninth trigger is playfulness, the ability to keep things light and fun. Women are drawn to men who can make them laugh, not just with jokes, but with a playful attitude that breaks the monotony of life. This could be teasing her about a quirky habit, engaging in witty banter, or creating a shared joke that only the two of you get. Playfulness shows you're not taking everything too seriously, which makes her feel at ease. It also creates a sense of connection, like you're building a private world together. For example, if she spills her coffee, don't just hand her a napkin, tease her with, "You're gonna owe me a new shirt for this." That lighthearted moment becomes a memory she associates with you. Playfulness isn't about being a comedian, it's about showing you can find joy in the small moments. It's the opposite of the guy who's always serious, always trying to prove something. A playful man makes her feel young, free, and connected. And that's a feeling she'll want to revisit. Finally, the 10th trigger is authenticity. Women are drawn to men who are real, who don't hide behind a facade or try to be someone they're not. Authenticity means owning who you are, your strengths, your flaws, your quirks without apology. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest. When you're authentic, you give her permission to be the same. She doesn't have to perform or pretend, she can let her guard down and connect with you on a deeper level. This shows up in how you communicate. Don't say what you think she wants to hear, say what's true. If you disagree, say so respectfully. If you're excited, show it without embarrassment. If you're unsure, admit it without shame. Authenticity is magnetic because it's rare. In a world where people often hide their true selves, a man who's unapologetically himself stands out. He's not chasing approval, he's offering a real connection. And that's something she'll value more than any polished persona. These 10 triggers: emotional contrast, mystery, emotional independence, challenge, presence, purpose, confidence, emotional safety, playfulness, and authenticity are the keys to unlocking female attraction. They're not about manipulation or tricks. They're about understanding human nature and embodying the qualities that make you magnetic. When you create emotional highs and lows, maintain an air of intrigue, and show you value yourself, you become a man she can't stop thinking about. When you challenge her, stay present, and live with purpose, you spark a connection that goes beyond surface-level attraction. When you offer safety, playfulness, and authenticity, you build a bond that feels real and lasting. Too many guys get caught up chasing approval, trying to be what they think she wants. But attraction isn't about being perfect, it's about being a man who makes her feel alive. It's about showing up with intention, setting boundaries, and creating moments that resonate. From a Stoic perspective, this is about mastering yourself. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your men, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you focus on what you can control, your presence, your standards, your authenticity, you stop chasing and start attracting. You become the man she values, not because you tried to win her, but because you're living with purpose and clarity. So, where do you go from here? Start by looking inward. Are you living in a way that embodies these triggers? Are you cultivating confidence, purpose, and emotional independence? Are you creating moments of playfulness and presence, or are you stuck in predictable patterns? Take one step today. Maybe it's setting a boundary, teasing her playfully, or sharing something authentic about yourself. Pay attention to how she responds. You'll notice her leaning in, investing more, chasing the connection you've created. That's when you know you're on the right path. I want to hear from you. Have you seen these triggers at play in your relationships? Maybe you've noticed a woman light up when you challenged her or felt a shift when you stayed present. Share your story in the comments. Your insight could spark something for someone else. Drop the word clarity if you're ready to take control of your dating life and embody these principles. Let's see how many men out there are ready to stop chasing and start attracting. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more on attraction, psychology, and personal mastery. Keep showing up, stay disciplined, and take charge of your life. The man who lives with intention doesn't just win her heart, becomes unforgettable. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that will help you create the life you truly deserve.